My approach to life is, all-encompassing. I also have a new religion, so this is not per se about the religion, but I do want to emphasize that within my new religion, it's called the religion without a name. And that's just not tongue-in-cheek. That is literally the best way to describe it with that phrase. And in this movement, it's very spiritual, but it's also very open-minded to expand our knowledge base. So most of you that have known me and watched 3 or more videos of mine, you will realize that I face a lot of difficult subjects, and I'm really into advancing humanity, making things better, because we have that ability. We just have to say it every day and make it happen. And in this religious movement, it's incorporating science, but putting it in harmony with the unknown, the non-physical. And I say it's unknown, but it can be known. It's metaphysical. You either know it or you don't. If you are not open to that, then you're obviously not open to the religion. When you're open to the unknown, and you can know the unknown, it then becomes another level of knowledge. It's an overlay, because we believe that all things come from a spiritual, unseen, unheard source. It's not up there, it's not down there, it's not in here, it's not out there anywhere. It's non-physically based. Like, you have to literally think, like, not in 3 dimensions, so there's no direction you can go for it. It is just within the within. I just coined a phrase. I've never heard that before. But anyhow, getting back to the physical. I study the physical so that I can understand the form that materializes from the idea. And I just was looking into salt. Yes, salt. Just something common. The salt of the earth. That's what they call people that are your basic garden variety person. And I was very interested in salt because, I just had like a general question that I think has never been answered satisfactorily. Because sometimes in our world, this planet Earth, the most mysterious things, the things that are so mind-boggling, are the things that are so basic. And one of them is salt. For example, where does all the salt come from? And, like an insufficient answer would be, oh, it comes from the ocean. When the seawater evaporates, you get salt. That's where salt comes from. No. That's not the answer. Where did the salt come from that got into the ocean water? It doesn't just materialize out of water, does it? I mean, if that's the answer, then prove it. Where's the evidence? Give me the whole scenario. Like, what is the original origin of salt? So I looked into it, and I'm always pushing myself to learn. That's the characteristic of my personality or my methods, and the religious movement is inspired by this kind of thing. You would have to see me as an example in order to get into the religion, obviously. So the people that I have considering the religion now, because they're close with me, and physically, you can't do it through video. I mentioned that in every one of my videos promoting the religion or introducing the religion. That's all I can do. I can't say, hey, you're in the religion because you watched the video. No. You got to physically get together, so I have to sponsor events. And I just seriously doubt that I'm going to get many of the people that are my viewers. But, maybe we'll get some little moral support or something. I'm not really that enthusiastic about it. I am enthusiastic, however, in giving you the information by introducing the concept, because I feel like what's going to happen when 10 or 20 or 30, 40 years go by and you actually end this life, and then you'll come back for another one because of reincarnation? That's a definite. And you'll have the seed planted in you so that you may come to it. That's how I do things, really. That's how I have to be optimistic within the larger framework of energy that has to have long-term effect, energy. So I don't mind. I have an enthusiasm for you. At least in the next few lifetimes, we'll see you come around to the religion. Now, because you might be stuck in something right now, and I can't really get you unstuck. It's not worth my time picking one person or 10 people, and then it's like, what about these other 10 people over here? I don't have enough energy to do that. If I have to unstuck you, it defeats the purpose of me developing what I need to do at the center. So I can only give you little things, and now I've gone on a tangent. But let's go back to salt, okay? Because maybe salt is really connected with what I'm talking about. Salt is formed, and here's the science. They say when an acid comes into contact with a base. So what those things are, I'm not so sure. But if it's a mineral, or if it's a soil, or if it's a liquid, I haven't studied it that much. But just the basic principle is that if something's acid or acidic and something's base, and by the way, I don't like that word base because it comes up with the adjective basic. But that is a different definition than when we say basic, like generalized. But anyhow, that's a linguistic problem of English. Acids and bases come together, and the reaction is to form a salt. The name of the salt is formed by the prefix being the cation and the suffix being the anion. So the first and second part of the chemical name of the molecule. So like with calcium chloride or sodium chloride, or these names tell you which elements are involved in bonding together and forming that salt. So having said that, there's a lot of kinds of salt, and in fact the relation of salt to other minerals or substances is another study, but you need to do that in order to really get an understanding of salt. You also have electrolytes. Now, electrolytes are not like salt because it's kind of like a living form of salt because it's not neutral. Salt is neutral. It cannot carry an electric charge. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just giving you general information, but I hope it's accurate. The electrolytes, however, carry an electric charge, and it's necessary for the body. Now, my question is, naturally and biologically, is it possible to give you factory-produced electrolytes and have them really integrate into the body? I find that doubtful because I think it has to be generated within the body, and there's ways to stimulate that. Amino acids are also related to salts and amino acids and proteins, but the differentiation I can't really explain now. It's a little bit complicated, but I just wanted you to know that they're very much related. Oh, and here's my bundle of salt that I have all the time. Look at him. He's just made out of salt. And there's prophecies in the Bible or stories in there that say when people were punished, they could be turned into a pillar of salt. Isn't that crazy? And then they try to find it, and today say that it's in the Dead Sea. between Israel and Jordan, those countries. So, I mean, it's possible. It's possible because our bodies contain salt. See, that's the interesting thing about biology, as I was talking about amino acids that are related to salts. I need silence now. And hopefully, just like the videos going out there, my children can get a, some kind of absorption of this material that I'm giving, because they're being exposed to it. Let me just try to record of the. Jesus, what a mess! I need to turn on the light. Okay. So, in conclusion, I was going to leave you with the idea that our blood, and for the overall our body fluids, are a parallel to what you find in the ocean water of the world, because it has the same salts or saltiness content. And this is interesting because with all the land animal forms, it gives you this idea and support for the theory that all life came out of water. But again, it is just a theory, because we don't have any way to prove that right now. But it's widely accepted, and I have to tell you that sometimes science is very wrong and it needs to change. So that's another principle of the religion without a name. That's why I study these things. So I'm going to get more in depth about the salt, and I still don't know where it came from, because if you were to, I need you to stop squealing. People don't like that. If you were to take all the salt from all the water and evaporate the water, you would end up with, I think the estimate was 30 meters depth of salt to cover all the land. I think that was the statistic that they came up with. But in any case, if that's not accurate, and of course it's a crazy scenario, just to give you some these comparisons are wild, but it only serves to tell you that there's a heck of a lot of salt on the planet. And we hardly know what to do with it. Salt is used for a lot of applications, yes, especially for food, especially for preservation. Not only do we use it on foods and to eat it or to preserve it, but we also use it on mummies or things. I believe that it's necessary for building batteries. I'm going to have to do some research on that, because batteries is a very interesting subject. Batteries need some improvement or development, as well as magnets, magnet technology. Since I'm getting on a tangent, there's so many things to learn. It's fascinating. So there you have it, folks. Salt of the earth. Make your comments, favorite this, send it to all your friends, share it, thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe, because YouTube is flawed.